So hi guys, just like the title, you probably know that I'm going to play around with the terraform code on my home lab servers. Let me close all this down first. No, just not. Yeah. Keep your workspace clean as possible, so you won't make a mistake. Yeah. So you see that this part very complex. My today streaming will last about 2 hours. I will sleep around 10 and then wake up in the afternoon around 3 or 4, I don't know. It depends, right? Yeah, so my goal today is that in this today streaming, I'm focusing on trying to create a volumes. So I have the added volume in this worker node here, and this added volume has one disk of 500 GB. So how do I look through all of this guy and then figure out they have added volumes or not? You guys can pause this part and then take a look at what I have done so far. So the first thing I do is flattening out the object into one map. The key of this map will be the node key, which is a combination between node name and the index of each node. So it will become something like workers 1, worker 2, worker 3, and so on, right? And then a second map is actually okay, and the values of obviously is the whole thing, right? It's a merge of the key and the name and the node spec itself. So you have you basically you have a key, the name, the spec, and the added volumes, you know. And the second thing is actually filter out only get the object with this volume, and then you have the volume size. So I don't really think about the volume size right now. I'm thinking more about the added volumes, that's for sure, So this one I prefer to have the merge volume here. And then you have the no spec, which is the whole thing. Because the reason why I want to keep that, because it has a replica, right? Okay, maybe I don't need the merge. I only need the replica. So you still want to keep the index and the node name and things like that. And you have node index here. So you have node name, node index, and then you have the size, which is the volume size. So what you do is basically you want to flatten it down into a list of map, yeah, something like that. So key would be this guy, and what you do here is actually you follow through each of them. And then the reason why I need that, because for instance here in this case, let me just go through the instance really quick. Yeah, so I have the load balancer, I have the master node, I have the worker node. So the master node and worker nodes do the same thing, right? The only thing different is that this connection and provisioner is being used for master round, I think. Anyways, you can actually look through all this guy and make a connection. Maybe I can put this into a later phase. For now, I can try to group them together into a flattened map. So we have cluster node, when you when you flatten it down, you have flattened cluster node here. So this cluster node is basically what I think the node spec it actually contain everything, so that's why I think we don't this we can have the index though into all the volumes. You know what, let's just comment the whole thing out and step by step. Okay, I will work on this other volume later, because right now I really want to have the whole thing going up first, and then you can group this one together later on. Okay, so for OpenRC, let me just do a check real quick on my past profile. So I will update this OpenRC file for now, because okay, and then I attach it to this guy. Then you can copy the whole thing, maybe not the whole thing, you want to keep some of them, maybe replace the URL here, which is 46, and then the password as well, you want to change the password. And for CA source, I recall that I put it in Openstack or ASL. You know what? I can't recall that. Let's just source it for now. I think it will cause some error. Yeah, invalid path. So I need to fix this path somehow. Let me double check the README first. I think in the master OpenStack, I do put it somewhere. Oh, by the way, there's one thing I'm not very sure about, is is the first of all, let me just check Openstack documentation first. So you have the version here. To use this provider, you have to require some of them, and you have to source it and then run terraform here. And you want to move it into master view here. So here I think what most important thing about is I'm trying to think for a second. Okay, so I need to check for OpenRC. Okay, so it's inside OpenStack for sure, and you want to config OpenStack. Well, not config, maybe just try to access it. In my local machine, I'm not very sure. Okay, this is the okay, so the way I do it is, do the same thing. Maybe make the directory. Yeah, so I can just make the directory and copy it from the remote machine. The way I do it is very simple. I can copy from this guy. Okay, so the way I do it is using scopy, just like sorry, SL, sorry, it is plus, and then from the user we want to copy, right, is query, and then the mass server here. Yeah, sometimes I confuse myself that whether I am hurting people feeling or not. So what you can expect from here is that I will store it indirectly from the current user directory home server. So now we can just run the whole thing and hope for the best. Because I'm running directly on my machine, okay, that's fine. So early chain will be, this is the part here. So you want to chain it to your current directory, which is user.qt. So it's a bit different from most cases. You don't want to, do the same thing, just search and list out the interface, public interface. So either way, as long as it's work for you, then it's work for all of us. Oh, it's not SSL, it should be it should be SSL. Let's try this again. Okay, so we are good now. So what I can do is restart this shell and then with the endpoint list. You can see here I'm listing out all the endpoints that we have. The last time when I tried to install Octavia, it just failed. Network, it just failed, and so on. So I don't really have a mode to actually update it right now. So now let's just go to master view, go to Gopsphere, go to terraform, run terraform init first. Okay, so the default of these values is not correct. I need to update somehow. So you always need some replicas, for example. You know what? Let's just remove all the default away, because you will realize that it is the there's an Openstack terraform that I can use as well, but I haven't put in anything there yet, so probably I will remove it later. So otherwise you can see that there's a version GJ here. It's called template, and then I actually asking for the required provider of the backend, the required versions, things like that. So right now you can try to update the version for a second, and then we will see how it's work for all of us. So the version is require some backend, and then you will need to log in to get access key as well. So I will just go with Openstack, the TF state, and then you execute it true. It's true, and then we just fine. We don't really think about this too much. And Proxmox is a bit complex. You can think about all the things like AWS for example. The version it could be a lot more simple, and yeah, it's just like that. You know, you don't really have to think twice about what should be there or what should not. I do an upgrade from time to time for my whole repository. So for terraform, I think I can just paste another file called plan.h. So what I try to do here is not really run any plan, but you know, I have the plan.tf and then the plan.quick and select this one to show. Plan.h. So I have changed a lot of things here. I add the plan.sh. So I need to log in first, you know, and then touch my YubiKey. So I have my YubiKey here. Now we can reconfigure it and put the whole state into upstream. So now I can just run plan. So let the work. So that's something called workspace. If you try to terraform workspace, and then new with the Openstack. And now you can run a plan again, and then obviously it will throw some error like this one. Because there's no Openstack instance called. So this one, if you think about that, right, you have to think about the network layer. For example, like if you're looking for the master local replica, so is local. So local is missing something else. Maybe not this local. Yeah, this is a local here. Let's just not think about that for now. And you don't even have this one. Let's just have the first running version first, you know. Okay, so one thing I'm not very sure about is that does this resource actually can be put in this directory, or do I have to pull it out? So I think I will need to pull it out. Okay, that's fine. I think if we put everything outside here, and we will have a bunch of things. So now you can see that a bunch of things you can think about. So for example, like in our network here, you can see that it's looking for this guy, and there's no load balancer route. Yeah, it indeed, there's no load balancer route, but there's a load balancer IP, so it's a naming convention things here. You can try to fix it somehow, you know, including in the instance. You have to think about that. So my convention is that not grouping the names. So what is the reason why we have to loop into a name, right? It doesn't make sense for me. Yeah. So let's just make everything become load balancer with a dash, two of them. So we are good with this guy. So we have DNS servers, and we will expect it to be a list of string. Okay, that's fine. So I have to fix this in the variable and the TFR as well. So this will be a list of string, and we have the when the TFR is here. So this guy has to be in the list of strings, so that's fine. We can you know, try split this down like this. This is my mass DNS by the way. So we can see that Openstack floating IP is a tuple with one element. Okay, that's fine. You have to think about like this. If this guy enable with public IP, then we can assign it an public IP. So you will try to make these things as generic as possible, right? Because we don't want mess with that. So for me, this one is fine, but like 79, let's try to fix this. You try to look through this guy, right, and then do they actually act in the same way? Well, it's a headache for me right now, guys. There's a way to reduce this complexity somehow. You can group all the route into one local big chunk of locals variable, so I can take it from here. No, before I actually working on any resources, maybe okay. Let me just isolate this out for now. We want to have a fully functional. Let's just put the locals here. So you see that I'm trying to do the debug right now. So give a thought about that. Is this something wrong with the format? Yeah, I think there's some wrong formatting here. So anyways, you can probably think that what is this v2? V2 is definitely the second loop here. Yeah, I know it's a bit confused, but it is how I see it, by the way. Don't need to be confused. So v2 will be node spec. Now can make a console out of it and then take a look on the local. We have see that worker 5, worker 4, they have replica. There's something called added volumes, which I'm not adding here yet. Volume is for another thing, right? But there's one thing I want to add for sure, which is the variable I want to add here is enable public IP. So follow, so we want to it become true. So in the variable you want to fix the plus node here. So now if I run the load balancer again, you have to run the plan again for sure. So maybe you don't care about the flat cluster node or anything. You care about the cluster node, local cluster node is enough. And right, so maybe this should have not been known. It should be false, something like that. But leave it that way. So network will be outside first. I will need to create out all this guy first. The network always goes first, right? So let's just also this guy for now and exit. Plan it again. I think it's a bit small for you guys. So you see that it's actually creating a network here with the name of CubeSphere, which is my project name, by the way. And then we have the router, we have the default subnet, something like that. So you can just apply this for now. Okay, so when you open this one out, you can see that you're trying to create a subnet to assign the local routes to this subnet. But to do that, you need to make sure you have the security group here as well. So let's just think about that security group. Yeah, just move it outside of the cluster. So if I go to horizon and take a look on all of that, but I will do it the check later. For now, I'm just trying to make sure you have everything going up. So now you have to think about routes. So this time I do think I should look through the lowest routes like this. I should look through all the routes that I think I should add. So for cluster network, it's the same. The only difference is the name, right? The name is the only thing make it different here. So as you already know earlier, we have the key here. So key will be what we have here. Okay. So what my suggestion is that we can look through so this is about a port, right? So you can write down as a route and then you look through all the cluster nodes, right? Because the key is the name of it. So you can, instead of doing this, you can just for each local, and then instead of this, you can just h.key, and then that's it. That is the only thing you want to add here. So now you can run plan again. And if you create all this one for you, worker 5, working 4, working 3, worker 1, master, global answers. Yeah. So one thing before I proceed is, let me just apply first, but next, to prevent error, you have to upgrade the limit somehow. Floating IP key pair, maybe just 100 key pair, maybe just 10. Eastern 200 secret rules, 500 subnet, 30 subnet, volume 400. Now you can think about this for a second. The quota has quota is something, right? You have to make sure you have the right quota for most cases. So Openstack quota is something you have to think about. Okay, so here are all the things you have: backup, instant, key pair. So you have to think of instant for sure. The ports. So the port will be equivalent to the instant as well. Snapshot, supergroup, subnet, that's 5 volumes. Router, RAM. Maybe just this guy. So it's like 50 RAM. Okay. 40 GB RAM. Probably just add one down here. 10 property per application. Okay, so group. Yeah, I think that's good enough. Let's Openstack project list. So I think it's to apply for the admin. Let's just try it out, you know. Okay, I definitely set it wrong. Yeah, fuck. Let me just go with this guy for now. There's two admin projects. It's not confusing me a lot. But that's fine, I think. I will go to dashboard here as well, because just in case we want to. Okay. Let's check for it. So meanwhile we are waiting for it to check. Let's just go back to the root. I think the root can be removed for now. Analytics IP is all about how many analytics IP we want to have, right? It depends on, you know what, I think I quoted the wrong guy. Let's just set this guy as well. I think I recall that. Let's just take a look at console again first before we show the quota again. So whenever, okay, each of these guys has an is public one, so that's simple enough, right? We can create a for each here, and what it does, we have to look through all of this one. Right, it's still the key to the node, but only if the node is public. Right, that's it. That's pretty much it. And then now we can think about the pool here for the external network. The key, the save, no different. So that's how. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, I think this is the new one. That's fine. So let's just plan again and well, look up. So just plan again. So the password of this guy is this, so I need to cancel this one now. Is there anything that new in this case? Okay. Well, I do exactly the same thing, right? But what is the error again? I have to keep looking up in the internet here. What the fuck? Okay. What the I think I saw this before, but I just cannot remember exactly how I do it. Okay, I think this is take longer than I expect. It's not a smooth road. So look up if it's not exist, it will fail. Okay, this the fuck. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. It's the same thing, right? I'm trying to playing around here with some logic. It's a very simple logic, by the way. Just you understand what I mean, right? Okay, never mind then. So it's good enough. So now we can think about the second resource, which is I believe to be the inventory itself. So local. Well, yeah. Yeah, flavor is just fine. I don't have any problem with that. Just throw it outside like this. So it will create this guy, the image, create the flavor for worker, master, and local answers. It is strange. Did I just not be able to do that? I mean, I have plenty of image here, so what is the reason why? Oh, okay. Make sure it is. Yeah, let's just Costria. I think we are good with this guy, so we can move on now. We can move on with the instance itself, which is a core feature here, by the way. So let's just bring it outside and play around with it. So as you know, the only thing that share in similarity is this master thing. We will not give this one. We use for each local cluster, and then each dot key will be be this one. Image name is fine. Global answer, definitely. Terraform, dev console. Let me check local cluster node. So there's a name for this guy. So the name is h value name, and then we have key pair and then password. And for the route, we're looking for h key. This time we will disable most of them here, because why do we want to keep it, right? There's no reason to keep it. Oh, this is how we do the count, okay. That's fine. Yeah, that's that's pretty wise, by the way. now you have the worker, just apply anyway, so you probably think that we can remove the rest of the code now. Guess we have had it running. What the the name of class node is actually, I didn't even know that. Let me double check to be sure. So I think it's inside inventory. Oh, my bad. So it should be, just project name h.name rather. Wait a fucking minute. Let me take a look again. Lobaser master worker. Oh, okay, so the way we define it is a bit different. It should be okay. It should be something like this. So it should be project name. Wait a minute. The key. Okay, fuck it. I'm fucking confused right now. Fuck, man. Okay, so the name is worker, fucking worker. Okay, that's fine. But the flavor, load balancer, master, workers. So what is the problems, right? Yeah, I don't get it. Sphere worker. Yeah, I'm kind of confusing right now. maybe you can just get the values of this guy, you know. And maybe you know what, let's just make it simple. You don't need to a direct reference here. You need the flavor name, just what you want. So h value dot name is enough. You don't need to think about anything else. You do want to depend on some of the things here. For example, like in the inventory, you want to depend on the flavor. Right, depend on the flavor, on the image, on the key pair, bunch of things, right? And depend on the route as well. Route, secret group, all kind of things into depend on. I think something wrong with the flavor. Okay, let me just looking up for the instance first, and then we can think about that for okay. So one thing I want to try to see here is, can I actually use correct flavor ID? So the key here is the name. Let's try with this one instead. Or maybe I need to make sure the flavor is public. I think after the flavor, we can think about the volumes. No, not the volume, the network. So this time you can think of it like this. So you have the route, just route by the way. But this time is really a bit different. You maybe not the count. We focus a bit more on this guy instead, you know. And we can focus on each key. Key here is a node, so if same route, it's the same key anyways. So we can think about that. I think fuck. I think I do calculation wrong. Fuck. Yeah, you cannot allocate more than you have, right? Because fuck. So the only way I can fix this is by changing the flavor to a smaller size. I think that's the only way you can. Otherwise, we can try to, Svi Juju Nova Charm. Because the point is that you have to think about the allocation. So that's why I think let me just 1 second, let me just try to connect to the remote host for now. And what we want to see here, right, is the actual bundle we have here. So it's for Nova Compute, by the way. Nova Compute. So the recommendation could be twice amount. Of what we have. Yeah. So basically, I will need to stack bundle stable. Okay. So the deploy command line will be around this place, I think, around the Openstack here. So we can just deploy it. It will take some time for us to actually get this done. I just met a girl and she asked me about marry. I thought she was single, but she does not. So I feel like I got tricked. How the fuck I know if the girl is about marry or not? I think it's very difficult to find a right woman right now in this area, in this time. Or maybe you have to lower your expectation because people are not perfect. Imperfection is everywhere. So can I pause the stream? No, I want to go to the toilet right now, guys. So meanwhile, waiting for this guy to be up, we have to do some planning on our resource we have. So we have like 94, and they are not all the same, right? If we allocate them on certain CPU, you have to divide equally. So take a note first. So if for example, like if you have 64, you can divide to 16. You have only 4 machines for this guy, but you have a lot more RAM, so the ratio will be 94 through 12. You can have 64 divided 8 with CPU, 10 CPU. You can have at least 6. No, that's will not work. So maybe just go with 8. So 8 CPU, 8 machines, right? But the storage is not enough. Fuck it, man. Storage is just fucking not enough. How the fuck is this happening? Well, these 3 machines supposed to have more storage than just that, you know. I'm not sure why. This is too little to be usable. I thought the Trammer has a lot more than that. Yeah, you know what? Like, there's something wrong with this guy. So if I access to one of my machine, maybe 2, for example. Fuck. I cannot access to it. Or what the fuck? Okay, this is new for me. I cannot access to that. Yeah, this is wrong. This is the wrong size. I think I have to redeploy this one tomorrow, and you know, we have to think about that. The OSD device just not correct, and this is very unfortunate. To be honest, I have to redeploy the whole thing. You know.